Slips and falls on ice and snow injure about 1 million people a year, and of those 1 million occurrences, 17,000 are fatal. How many of those could have been avoided with the right footwear? Well, in today's video, I'm gonna give you the best anti-slip boots of 2024. Welcome, I'm Carl Murawski, and this is the channel that helps you own better, look better, and live better. Now look, I'm gonna be the first to admit, watching somebody slip on ice can be really funny. But on the other hand, a slip and fall on ice and snow hits kind of close to home because when I was in my 20s, my grandmother actually died of a slip and fall while bringing her trash out to the garbage can, and they found her there, and that was that. So look, if I could have gotten a few more years with her because of the right footwear, I would have absolutely bought them for her, no questions asked. But a lot of times these things happen and, you know, hindsight is 2020. I wish I had bought those things. Well, I found a great resource that I want to share with you today. It's best to use something that most of us know about as an example as to why these boots are so effective. Snow tires on your car. Now, I originally thought that it had something to do with the tread design. Maybe they're more aggressive or something like that. But then in my time as a mechanic, I came to learn that it's really more about the compound itself. The rubber tends to stay flexible and grippy even when it gets really, really cold. Whereas normal tires, they start to get harder and become less and less grippy. One step beyond that, you get studded snow tires, and those have the added benefit of sounding like sizzling bacon when you're driving down a dry road. And then one step beyond that is chains for your tires, and there's basically nowhere you can't go. And those would be the equivalent of maybe putting crimps or spikes on your boots. Very specifically, I remember wearing my Timberland Pros when we were roughing out a house in January. And literally, we were able to run and slide down the hallway like it was a skating rink. That's how hard the compound in those boots got. I was poking around on the internet one night and I found an incredible website called Rate My Treads. The organization behind it is called Kite. Now, Kite is a world leader in complex rehabilitation with 100 scientists dedicated to improving the lives of people living with the effects of disability, illness, and aging. Kite is one of the principal research enterprises at the University Health Network, Canada's top medical research hospital. So to determine the slip resistance of different boots, Kite actually has a chamber. This thing is wild looking. Imagine a person who's standing there tethered to the ceiling so when they fall, they don't actually fall on the ground, and they are able to simulate cold ice conditions and wet ice conditions because slip resistance is a little bit different. And then what they do is they gradually increase the slope of the floor until those boots no longer have any traction. So basically, the spot right before the guy slips and falls is the top ranking. And so that's how they do these. They tested, I think, 100 boots, and of those boots, some came out on top. So they broke down the winners into 3 categories: work, casual, and spikes. Now we're gonna look at all 3 categories. Spikes really only had 2 things in it, so I'll just put those up on the screen now. You can see what won those. That's pretty obvious. But I think most of us are really looking at either work or casual. So we're gonna run down the top 3 spots of each of those categories. Casual footwear. Now in this category, there was an obvious trend. The top 6 spots were dominated by one sole type, the Ice FX. Now, I looked into it a little bit more, and this sole was developed with inspiration from a tire company that used rubber infused with synthetic quartz. Ice FX took this concept and applied it to their soles, which are clearly very effective. Just one word of caution, I wouldn't wear boots equipped with Ice FX soles into your home if you have nice, finished wood floors. In first place, with a score of 12, is a tie between the Wind River Back 40 Ice FX boots for men and the Ice Queen Low Ice FX for women. Ice Queen, that reminds me of what we used to call my old boss. Anyhow, these boots feature those Ice FX outsoles, T-Max insulation. The Back 40 is a pull-on Chelsea-style boot, so it could be a great boot to leave by the back door for those walks to the mailbox or out on a quick errand. Second place with a score of 11 is the Helly Hansen Lockdown Ice FX for men and the Denver Hayes Ella Ice FX HD3 winter boots for women. Now here we have a couple of the boots I expected to see. Lace up, heavily insulated with a healthy dose of rubber. While the slip resistance might take second place, these boots would be my pick thanks to their additional warmth. Finally, in third place is the Wind River Men's Snow Trekker 2.0 Ice FX winter boots and the women's Wind River Peak 2 Ice FX winter hiking boots. They are a pull-on style and a hiker style respectively, but luckily there are a variety of boots with excellent slip resistance to fit your application. All right, on to the work boots, and this is one of the questions that I get asked constantly. What are the best work boots for the winter time? Well, any of these would be a great option for you. In first place with a score of 12 is the men's 8901 composite toe, composite plate winter work boots. These are badass. Composite toe, composite plate, puncture resistant and electric shock resistant. They're also very warm with a comfort rating of -50 degrees Celsius, although I found most of those ratings to be highly dependent on the scenario and your activity level. In second place with a score of 11 is the 8901 CTCP HD3 Winter Transitional Boot. This is kind of like the little brother to the first place winner. It may lack the warmth rating, but it retains the composite toe and plate. These have a removable liner system to help you keep them dry and ready to go the next day. And in third place is the Helly Hansen Men's Work Composite Toe. As the name suggests, you get a composite safety toe and a plate. For the record, the highest rated women's boots were the Dakota CTCP Felt Pack Winter Boots with a rating of 8. Now, the one thing that I wonder is how durable are these soles, especially those ice effects, with the little crystals and stuff in them. When those are gone, are they basically useless? Are they still grippy? If they degrade in their grip, how much? And hopefully they'll be able to test those kinds of things, because if you're like me, you want to get many years out of your boots. And it would be good to know how badly that degrades over time. I would certainly like to know. Now, this whole thing might not apply to you. If you live near the equator and it never really gets that cold, well, then you have other things to deal with, right? And in which case, tune in next week. I'll have another video coming out that hopefully will apply to you. But if you were like me and you live where it gets very cold during the winter, you can appreciate the slip resistance of these, because I think we've all taken a digger every now and then. And you know what? It's not worth messing around. Now, as I get older and more rickety, falling can be a bigger issue. It's funny how you never hear of somebody who's 40 having a fall, but if your grandmother had a fall, that could be a bad situation, right? So just take care of yourself. That's what I'm trying to say. And if that means buying $200 boots because they help you stay on your feet and upright, well, that's a lot less than you're gonna pay for, a hospital bill or pay by just having some pain down the road. So please take care of yourself. I would miss you if you were gone. Take a look at these, and if you want, I've left a link in the description with all of these listed out below. And if you would like to see more videos on boots, I've made you a playlist right here. In that playlist, we have work boots, we have casual boots, we have heavy duty boots, we have light duty boots. You can kind of scroll through and see which ones maybe fit your style, and then start your research there. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you later.